Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel for the next video. This video includes the database connection using JSTL and will perform selection operation, insertion operation, update operation and delete operations. So for this table, this question we'll see the database. For example, we are creating a database as master and we'll create the table student. And we'll have different columns, say that AID, first name, last name and age. So we'll go to NetBeans, we'll create the table. Okay, so open this NetBeans. Okay, now first of all we'll go to services. Under the services we'll go to database. We'll connect MySQL by clicking right click, connect. We'll provide the password for the MySQL. Password is my this CPS. Okay, we'll click on the OK button. Now you can see here that the database, the MySQL is connected here. Now we can create the new database. As I said that I will create the master database. So I will be creating a master as a database. Now once I create the master database, now you can see under this MySQL table that the master database you can see here. If you want to connect this master database, you can connect it. Now under the master database, now it is connected. We can explore this, and under this master database I want to create the table student, right? So if you explore it, we don't have any table. So right click student. When I create table, when you click on the create table, now this small window will come where you can put the name of the table. We'll add the columns. Either we can also have we can write the command here. So right click here, execute command. You can see the already have written here the number of columns here. This is the student table, right? So having ID, first name, last name. Okay, so we can provide his create table student ID, integer, first name varchar, last name varchar, and is int. Now we'll execute this. Now this is the table is created. You can see under the master database student table is created here. Now I can execute this table, right? So when I write this, you can see the name of the columns are here displayed, but the value is not inserted. Now I can insert the value here. So right here insert into student is the table, so student values 101 ID, for example first name is Amit, Amit Misra, then is exact for example 20. Select it, you can run this. Okay, now I can Amit can write Amit Kadam 21 and run this. Some other values. next value. Okay, so these are the values which I have inserted. I can check this table view data. So there are 4 rows which I have added here. Now I'll go back to project. I will create the new project here. For example, I'll be creating here JSTL database connection. Uh, Create the project, the Java web application, JSTL, new database. Okay, next, and click on finish. Now under this, we have created a new database, right? So under the web page, now I will be adding here new, right? So I will create the JSP page. Okay, for example, JDBC connection, and click on finish. Okay, so this is the JSP page. You can see here this is the different from the HTML page. This is the information about the page, right? Here dozen percentage at the rate page. Okay, then okay, we'll remove it, and we have to add this JSTL code tags. So what I will do, I can add this the core library which already have done. So I can now we'll add the core tags here first. So this is the core tag. Okay, and for this prefix is here control space bar, that is C. Okay, so you can remove it. Also we are making a database connection, so I can add here SQL tag also. Add it for I can have this SQL tag prefix also as SQL. Okay, now we'll come to this. right? As for the database connection, right? What we'll do, we'll make this connectivity process. We'll select the SQL data source as we have discussed earlier. So right here SQL. Okay, so here this is the first one, SQL say data source. Now we have to create the database connection. So we need to select the data source. We'll select the data source, right? So now you can check here that we have to select the variable, right? So what we'll do, we'll create the variable as that variable as db, right? So we write here db as the data source. Now afterwards, you know that we have to select from the dropdown. Now we'll provide the driver for the MySQL. So MySQL driver is your com.mysql dot jdbc dot driver. And then we have to write the URL for the database connection also. Okay, so we need to provide the URL for this. So this is here jdbc colon mysql colon / localhost. As we have created the database master, so I will write a master, and afterwards we need to add the user and the password for the MySQL. So for MySQL user is root and the password is here myPC. So for myPC it is CBS. And now I have to close it. So we'll close it. This is the data source which I have created. Now what next? We need to create the connection, right? So now we have to use the SQL query, because first of all we need to write the SQL query and we'll select the, we'll fetch the database. Okay, so that will be written under this SQL query. SQL query, and to write the data source, and we have to set the same data source which I have created there. So this is the db as a data source, and see we need to use $sign for accessing, right? And then again for accessing the data we have to select the variable, right? So we'll write we'll create the variable. For example, we are creating here rs as a variable. Okay, now this is the closing tag of SQL query, and now first of all we want to display the data, right? So whatever data we have created, we want to display it. Okay, so the name of the table is here select star from. Table is I have written here student. So what I will do, will write here student as a table. Now, so we have done it. This is the query tag. Now, next part is we want to display this, right? So how many columns are there? You can see here that there are 4 columns: ID, first name, last name, and age. And the name of the table is here student. Now I want to display it in the tabular format. What I will do, I will use a table for tag in the query. Okay, so we'll write everything under the table tag. Table, then I can use this water. Okay, for example, water is I'll be taking here 2. I have to also width. Okay, so I'll be taking it as 100%. Now this is the definition of the table. Now this is the opening tag of the table and closing tag of the table. Now number of columns are there 4. I want to take it. The first row should be the heading tag, right? So first of all, I will take under this table row, right? So opening tag as well as the closing tag here. Okay, and for each and every column we need to write the table data. Sorry, it will be a table heading. Okay, so opening as well as the closing tag. So first column is has student ID. Student ID. So I will use it. I will copy all one by one. All the 4 columns are there. So second column is here the first name. Okay. Third column is here the last name. And the last column is here age. Okay, so this is the definition part. This is the first row, but the all are the table headings. Now we're coming to the next part for fetching the data from the table to display. There we are using that while rs.next, and then we'll use a system.out.println, and we are using that the result set object dot the method for displaying the data. Here we'll use this core tag, and that is what it is, C colon for each. For each I'll be using. For fetching the data, I will also be declare it variable. I will take data table, right? And for displaying the data, okay, we need the we have to select it items. Okay, now the data will be displayed where? In the rows, right? So we have to use this variable, right? So this is the statement SQL query object that will be used to display the data in the rows. So rs dot rows. Okay, and one more thing, for fetching the data, it should be written as $sign. Okay, then only it will be fetched. Otherwise, it will not be displayed properly. And now you can close it. So here, opening tag of for each and closing tag of for each. Now under this, we need to display all the row values, right? That means if we are using this tabular format, then it should be written under this tr tag, opening tag, and the closing tag. Okay, and see that each and everything will be displayed under the table data, because all will be displayed in a separate cell. So we'll write here td tag, open close tag, and for displaying we'll use C colon out, that is the C out tag, and now you can see that value that is. And for displaying this, we have to take the reference of the table as a variable. And one more thing, we need to check the column values. Now you can see here this from the master table. The column names are here the ID, first name, last name, and age. It should be as it is. The name of the column should not be changed. If it is written ID, small ID, then it should be written like that. First underscore name, F is small, N is small, last underscore name, L is small, N is small, and age, then it should be written as it is. So we'll see that the reference variable as here table dot id, and see, for fetching the data we need to have this $sign. Now this is, and now you can close it. That's it. So all the four column will be same. So we'll copy it, paste it, the second column, third column, and fourth. Now the first column I have written here. Second column you can see the name of the column is here first underscore name. So I can write here first underscore. Third column is here last underscore name, and the fourth column is here age. Okay, so all the data I have written here. Now I can check it. Okay, the first one is I have created the data source. I have written the table URL, then URL for the database connection, that table database I have created here master, then SQL username, password, then SQL query. We'll use the data source which I have created. Here we are creating the variable as alias which will be used, and since we are accessing the data, right, so what we'll do, we'll write the command that's extract from table. Now we'll display the data in the tabular format, so we'll write the table tag, and under the table tag the first column, first row is here, that table heading, right, so we'll write all the values under the ts tag. For comparison, right, so we'll use for each. Okay, and for displaying we'll use this rs dot rows, and for display point of view we'll use this cout function. Okay, now you can check this data. The program is under execution. Okay, so that you can see here the driver name and all everything. That means there is a problem with the database connection. We'll go to project. Under this we'll add the library, because if you are using the connection, JDBC connection, then you have to add this library. For this we are using MySQL JDBC driver, and also if you are using JSTL you can add the library for the JSTL also. So you can check here JSTL 1.2.1. Now after adding the library, now you can run the program. Now you can see here table which I have added here 101, 102, 103, 104, first name, last name, and age, which is displayed. Now if I want to perform insert operation, or if I want to perform delete operation, then we can perform in the same table also. So we'll go back to the project. I can do here only, right. See, this query is used for just displaying the data, right. So what I will do, it will be used under this SQL update. Okay, so I will select this SQL update query. Now we need to create the data source, right. So the data source I will be creating here For example, I'll be creating DB. Okay, so we'll use this same data source here. Okay, we'll fetch this. Okay, then for updates, I can declare the variable here. Okay, you can check here the variable here. For example, I'll be creating declaring a variable here, count. So I can declare it count. I can close it. I can close it. So here the opening tag of SQL of, update, as well as the closing tab of SQL update. Now open do it. Under this we are inserting the data, right? So I will write the command for insert into student values. Okay, there are 4 columns, right? So I will write here 4 columns. I have inserted at 101, 102, 103, 104, and write at 105. Okay. Okay. Look at it. Now I can check it. Now you can see I have performed your insert operation, right? You can check here. This is the insert into table name values, right? So the value I have created here, I have added here. Now the data is added to this database. 105, Sandeep, CPS, and 40. This is the database which is inserted at the runtime. Now if I want to perform the deletion operation, you can also perform it. For example, I'll be writing here, right? I have inserted this 105, right? You can check here. This is 105 Sandeep CPS, and that is equal to 40. Okay. Either if I want to delete that 101, for example, so you can write here 101, right? So delete from table name is here student where ID is equal to, for example, 101. I'll just write down. So after the deletion, now I can check here. Now I can check this after deleting the table values, right? So I have taken here this data, right? I have taken here the example for this delete from student ID 101. You can see here the first row is removed, it is deleted. Okay, so that means we can perform insert, update, delete, and select operation by using the command JSTL tag. So this is all about your JSTLs, where we can perform the simple insert operation, delete operation, select operation, and update operations. Okay, so thank you for watching my video, and if you like the video, you can share my video, and also you can subscribe the video. Thank you.